Hello dear students, welcome again. Today we will start with Geography, chapter number 1, Resources and Development, and this is the second part of the chapter. In the first part we studied about what is a resource and classification of resources. Today we will start with the topic problems created by indiscriminate use of resource by men. We all know that we are over exploiting the resources, and because we are over exploiting it, over utilizing it, we are wasting those resources, and that is the reason why these resources are getting depleted day by day. And one of the example of such resource is forest. Now the second problem which is created by indiscriminate use of resources by man is some of the people in the society are having resources. They can easily access to those resources, but many of the people in the society cannot access to those resources, and that is why the society gets divided between rich and poor. There are various other problems also which are being created. One of them is global warming. The melting up of glaciers, the rising temperature of our atmosphere is a major concern. It is a major concern. Depletion of ozone layer, the ozone layer which protects us from ultraviolet rays, and environmental degradation, that is air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution. These are some of the problems which are being created by indiscriminate use of resources by man. Now the question is, how can we solve this problem? How this problem can be solved? So the answer is sustainable development. Now what is sustainable development? Sustainable development is the judicious use of resources. Utilizing the resources in a judicious manner, in such a way that it can be used by future generation also. Sustainable development is a development which does not damage the environment and at the same time takes care of the needs of the future generations, is called sustainable development. Sustainable development doesn't mean that we should stop using the resources, we should stop exploiting the resources, but exploiting the resources in a judicious manner. In the slide you can see the green economy. Economic growth can be obtained without damaging the environment. That is sustainable development. Green economy, low carbon growth, resource efficiency and social inclusivity means sustainable development is not duty of a single person. Social inclusivity should be there. Means each and every should be the warrior, should be the participant of saving our environment, saving our resources, and with this we can achieve a green economy. In sustainable development, in green economy, we have to think about society, We need to think about economy also, and we need to think about environment also. And for this, resource planning is very necessary. So before discussing the importance of resource planning, first of all, let us discuss that what do we mean by resource planning? Means, what is resource planning? Now, resource planning is a technique or skill of proper utilization of resources. Means getting an appropriate technology to utilize the resources so that wastage do not take place, so that we do not waste the resource. And there are several stages. There are several stages of resource planning. Number one, identification and listing of resources. Identification and listing means, first of all, having a proper survey. After that, mapping that where the resource is actually located. That is what we call is mapping. And the measurement of quality and quantity. So, surveying, mapping and measurement of quantity and quality comes under the identification and listing of resources. Now, second stage consists of developing. Once we come to know that this resource is available, this is the location where it is available, and this is the quality and this is the quantity. Once it is defined, after that we develop technology. We develop technology to utilize these resources, a suitable technology, skill and institutional setup. And finally, developing the resource. Again I tell you, first of all, we survey, mapping, measurement of quantity and quality. After that, developing the technology, appropriate technology, and with the help of technology and institutions, developing the resources and matching those resources with the development of plans, national development plans, matching those resources with national development plans. So this is what you call is resource planning. Now you must think why resource planning is necessary. So I have an answer to tell you what is the importance of resource planning. It is necessary for the balanced development of India. As we know that some of the states in our country are having abundant of resources, but some states are poor in resources. For example, if we talk about Rajasthan, so in Rajasthan, wind and solar energy are found in abundant. But if you talk about water resources, it is totally absent. If you talk about Uttar Pradesh, we are having food grains, but we are poor in minerals. If we talk about Madhya Pradesh, it is rich in every resource, but Ladakh is poor in resources. Overall, we can say there is unequal distribution of resources. There is unequal distribution of resources. So, to distribute these resources equally among all the states, resource planning is necessary. Apart from this, wastage of resources can be avoided by planning. Environmental pollution can be reduced. Over-exploitation of resources can be avoided. How? With the help of resource planning. We have degraded the land. We have degraded the land. And the next topic is the resource conservation. Now, what is resource conservation? Just now I told you about sustainable development. Sustainable development is the other name of resource conservation. Planned use of resources in order to meet the present needs and to store a part for the future generation is called resource conservation. Many resources are non-renewable, exhaustible. So we need to conserve those non-renewable resources so that our future generation can utilize those resources. Conservation of resources helps us to reduce wastage. It will help in economic progress. Resource conservation helps us to protect the environment. Now, let us look at the Gandhiji's idea on resource conservation. According to Gandhiji, there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. Means we are having enough in our environment, we are having enough resources which we need to fulfill our needs. But for a greedy person, for a selfish person, greedy and selfish individual, and the exploitative nature of modern technology are the root cause of resource depletion. Gandhiji was against mass production and wanted to replace it with production by masses. So these are the views of Gandhiji on resource conservation. I was talking about land degradation. Yes, of course, spelling is wrong here. Kindly rectify it. Land degradation. So what are the causes of land degradation? Why land is degrading day by day? Why land is degrading day by day? Number one, large scale soil erosion caused by running water and wind. So number one is soil erosion. Number two, dumping of waste material from mining centers and industrial units. Over irrigation leads to increase in salinity and alkalinity in the soil. Overgrazing by animals and deforestation by man. Wastewater from the industrial units pollute the lands. Mineral processing like grinding of limestone and cement industry and calcite and soapstone for ceramic industry creates a lot of dust. And that dust gets deposited into the neighboring land and makes it infertile. So these are some of the causes of land degradation. These are some of the causes of land degradation. So we have degraded the land. Yes, we agree to that. Now we need to conserve it. So let us see what are the land conservation measures. Soil erosion can be prevented by ending deforestation, controlling grazing, encouraging afforestation, and practicing terrace farming in hilly areas, because most of the soil erosion takes place in hilly areas. So if we make terraces and we plant trees or start practicing agriculture, so the roots of the plants or the food crop, they will bind the soil and help us to reduce soil erosion. Number 2, preparation of shelter belts of plants and stabilizing of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes. In Rajasthan, in the arid regions, we can grow thorny bushes, and it will help to prevent land degradation in deserts. Now the next major activity which has degraded the land a lot is mining activities. Mining activities should be controlled. New technology which reduces wastage can be adopted. Industrial waste should be chemically treated to remove the harmful substances. Urban waste should be used for the production of biogas and biomanure. Over irrigation should be stopped, and the new method of irrigation should be followed. Modern irrigation methods. Drip irrigation is one of them. Now let us read soil as a resource. Of course, soil is a resource. Human being is living on the earth just because of soil. Why? Because we get food grains. All the eatables we get from the soil only. The uppermost layer of the earth crust, which is loose, broken and useful for plant, is called soil. Soil consists of mineral matter such as sand and clay, and organic matter such as humus, bacteria and earthworms. Soil is formed mainly due to the process of weathering. Now what is weathering? Breaking up of rocks into smaller particles. Breaking up of rocks into smaller particles is called weathering. As a result of weathering, a layer of loose rock materials is formed on the land surface. If this layer remains undisturbed for a long period of time, chemical, physical and organic changes take place in it, and these changes lead to the formation of soil. Now, what are the factors which influence soil formation process? Number 1 is climate. Climate decides the rate of weathering. Means the rock is converted into fine particles is called weathering, and climate decides the rate, at which rate, at what time, how much time it will take. So it is defined by climate and the type of vegetation, whether it is evergreen forest, deciduous forest, arid region, everything. Topography is the second factor. Topography of land decides the accumulation of soil. Topography means it is desert area, coastal region, northern plains, hilly areas, mountains. This is what we call is topography. Number 3, nature of parent rock. If the rock is black in color, the soil formed by that rock will be black in color, black in nature. The texture of the soil also, color and texture of the soil will be same as the parent rock, means from the rock which is from which rock it is obtained from, same वही color होगा. Fourth one is vegetation. Vegetation decides the amount of humus available in the soil. Like northern plains, their soil is rich in humus. Soil is rich in humus. So these are the factors which influence soil formation process. So this is all for today. Hope you learned something from it. Have a nice day.